Hi, so today I'm at the airport waiting for the flights. So while waiting for the planes, I'm going to do Leetcode question number 36, valid Sudoku. This is the medium questions. All right, let's get into it. So the question is saying, determine if a 9 times 9 Sudoku board is valid. Only the field cells need to be validated according to the following rules. Each row must contain the digits from 1 to 9 without repetitions. Second, each column must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. Each of the 9 3 times 3 sub-boxes of the grid must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetitions. Note: a Sudoku board partially filled could be valid, but is not necessarily solvable. Only the filled cells need to be validated according to the mentioned rules. Um, so, right, so the question is asking to check if the Sudoku is valid, right? So if anyone has done Sudoku before, you probably know that Sudoku, right? Like in a game Sudoku, each row, for example, here, like this, can only contain from 1 to 9 and can contains no duplicates. For example, like you see here 5 and here 3, it can't contain more 5 and 3, right? Because it's going to be duplicates number, and that's not going to work. So you need to develop a code that to check and to verify that each cell in a Sudoku from in rows and columns and in squares like this obey to this rule. Right. So obviously here we can start by iterate row by columns, right? So we're gonna go from row and then we're gonna check by columns, right? So for example, we're gonna go here at the first row. Once we go to the first row, like this, we're gonna check, okay, if there's any duplicate number from this row and for this column, for this column, for this column, for this column, and go on, right? And then we're gonna start in a new row and we're gonna check again. All right. So how can we do this? All right. So one way to do this is that we can use a dictionary again, and key and values, right? And the value here has to contain to be in set number because because we can't contain duplicates, right? And here we need to think about the data structure of the key. So when we check, as I told earlier, we need to check from row to column first. So obviously we need to check the key as a row here. For example, we need to row number 1 consists of this value, row number 2 consists of this value, so on and so forth until row number 9, right? And check if it has any duplicates value. So we need to create one dictionary for row and one dictionary for column. That's going to work the same thing like this. And also, don't forget that we also need to create a dictionary for the square as well, because in this case, right? Right. So we're gonna do square, right? But here, be mindful that because here we can just put the key as row 1, 2, 3 to 9, and the same as column. But for the square, the row has to the way to put the key for the square is going to be like square from row 0 to row 2, right? And that's coming from row 2 from row to row 4. Sorry, 2 to row 4. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be 6 to 9, right? And the way how to do that is that we actually can do this row and by column. Okay, So once we iterate each number, and if any number exists in this dictionary, we can just return false. Otherwise, we can just return true. Alright, so now that we understand the solution, let's get to the coding part. Alright, I have 15 more minutes before I board the plane, so it's going to be a little rush this time. Okay, so first, as mentioned earlier, we need to create a tree dictionary. We're going to create row, link, right? So the collections, default div, and that's going to be set by the as we mentioned earlier, right? I can just copy this, and that's going to be column. That's going to be that's going to be squares. Okay. All right. So here we need to start to iterate for row in range 9. That was there are 9 cells in horizontal axis of the Sudoku, and that's going to be for column in range 9. Okay. All right. So if you look at the board here, any absent, any any cells that has no number will be indicated as a dot here. So we can say if board at row and column is equal to dot, we can just continue. Right? Otherwise, right, we can add that number to the dictionary. So we can go. Actually, we need to finish it also first too. But if board row column and row div row, all, and we need to apply this to all. Right. Let's do this. Apply this to all the dictionary in column, column, and in square. And here, be careful because we need to do this, right? And oh, right, and that has to be tuple. Why? Because key is not immutable, so we need to put this as a tuple, and then right, you can just return false. Correct. All right, and after you put this condition, you can just add it. Add the number from the board into each dictionary. You can do board row. No, sorry. Yeah, the row dig add. Row dig add row add. Has to add the row, right? And so column add column. Right, and the last one is going to be square dig. Right, add tuple. Add row. It's going to be an array of tuples. Column. We add it should ask the, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. It should add row, board, row, column, border, row, column. Sometimes I do something that I didn't think of it. Anyway, column, and here has to be board, board, row, and column. Alright, that should be it, and that should be the answer. Let's try to submit this and see if we get correct answers. I hope I have. I hope I didn't do any mistakes here. Okay, sporadic, alright. There's a spelling mistake for sure. Alright, so that's supposed to be U-A, not A-U. Alright, okay. Two expected and most want arguments. Okay, so we need to put this into array. That should be. Okay. Oh, what's wrong? Okay. Yeah. Good. Right. So 344 cases passed, but the rest is wrong. There might be some mistakes. Okay. Let me read the questions again. Possibly could be valid, but it's not necessarily solvable. Right. So. Turn close. Okay. 8 2. Right. Let me see if the answer is wrong. Oh, false. Expected true. I think otherwise going to return true. There you go. All right, I got the correct answers like that. Yeah, because there was not a mistake. It just said that we're gonna put return true here. Otherwise, it's gonna return false. Next time, it's gonna return. All right. Okay. So thank you for watching.